driver interviews, pit action, industry news. We're bringing you everything that fuels the adrenaline-pumping world of dirt track racing. Buckle up now. You're sitting with the Slimy Bastards. Take it away, Jason.
Well, on today's episode of Sitting with the Slimy Bastards, I fortunate to met this guy down in New Orleans and hit it off right away when we met. And I've talked to him a couple different times, been wanting him to get on my episode sometime here in the near future, and we were able to make it work. And so with today's guest, I got Mike. Yeah, so welcome to the show. And, I want to first say, when I was down in New Orleans there, and I met you for that first time, I didn't know you owned the club there, and which is in the French Quarters downtown New Orleans.
Yeah, I don't own it. I don't own it. I just run it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you just manage it then? Yeah, and that's
my weekly gig, at least when I'm in town or whatever. It's a really cool spot. Plus, I get to film there, as you see. So
right, which is the Blue Nile.
Right.
Really, it is. It's a really cool place. And but anyway, when I got down there, I want you to hear my mindset here. And I don't know if I told you this or not. First time into really doing something this big, this altitude, you know what I mean? And who I was going to have on my show. I was freaking the fuck out in my mind. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you came up to me right away, put your hand on my back. You need anything at all, don't be afraid to hesitate to ask. You got some nice stuff here. And as soon as you said that, man, you don't know how much of a relief just even that was. You know what I mean? I mean, you've been in this long enough. And so thank you for being so welcoming and helping me out with what I needed to do.
Oh, of course, man. All kinds of stuff you got to do these days to make it happen.
Yeah. So tell me, you've been doing a lot of editing, a lot of filming. There's been some cool shit you've done. You've done a lot of big stuff, but recently just doing this acid bath filming of their first big show in how long? What, 30 some years?
Yeah, I was about 28, I think. But we were lucky to film both the first shows. They had two different shows, and we kind of did the second one sort of last minute. I wasn't going to be able to get off. It's during Jazz Fest here, which is a big deal. So,
right.
I was just lucky to be able to get off and do it. So yeah. Anyway, we got there first too, nice. And yeah. I Hate God opened one night, Exhorter the next. We got both of them. And I just got one of the I Hate Gods together, but I haven't really had too much time. It was, like I said, Jazz Fest. So that's a 2-week. That'll suck up every bit of your energy and time. Yeah. It's a big, big thing here. So, and that's through the music club part. When I'm running that or whatever, that's our busiest time of year. So,
sure.
Yeah. So now I got just a whole bunch of good stuff ready to go. So just been enjoying sitting here, except for our blackout yesterday. That sucked.
Yeah. Hey, speaking of Jazz Fest, would you say Jazz Fest then is bigger than Mardi Gras week?
It is for us. As far as Mardi Gras is not like the most lucrative crowd. There's a bunch of them, but these folks come down for some serious music, and it's all kinds of music now. It's not just jazz, but in our business, we do better for Jazz Fest than Mardi Gras. Yeah.
Sure. Okay. Yeah, because of the club part of it where you have live music. That makes sense.
Right. Yeah, we've got shows that start at 2 and 4 a.m. and stuff. You know, they add.
No kidding.
Yeah, we'll have 5 and where we normally have 2 or 3 a night, we'll have 5 and 6. That's the kind of demand that they have. So, wow. You know, and most of them do really well. You wouldn't think there'd be anybody there, and it's packed. You know, so yeah. But so definitely a cool thing if you haven't checked it out. This year they had some pretty good people. They've been kind of rocking it out a little more. They had Foo Fighters last year. They had Lenny Kravitz and Pearl Jam and stuff like that. So it's getting a little more, not just straight jazz and funk. They're
Right.
venturing out. Nothing ever too metal yet, but God, I don't even know who I'd say was the closest, but they need to do more of that for sure.
Bringing more of a diversity to the scene.
Well, I mean, just heavier. They've got diversity for sure. I mean, they do a pretty damn good job. They just don't have anything that's too heavy. Put on a New Orleans metal band, put down, or put somebody from here
Right.
on, and I think they'd be surprised at how well it does. They got enough stages. They got like 7 or 8 stages. So I mean, they had Lil Wayne rapping and stuff. They can have metal. So,
How many of them chicken places does he own down there?
oh Jesus, I don't know, man. I mean, they got all kinds of stuff. I mean, I don't even think he lives here anymore, but it's still his
Yeah.
hometown place. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Because you see them everywhere down there.
yeah, oh yeah. We did. I did a lot of work with those guys in the early days. I used to run a security company, and they would hire us for all their big events, like early days, like 90s, 97, 98. So we get to know them guys pretty good. They're pretty cool, especially back
Yeah.
then. I didn't know shit about shit. It was pretty wild
Right. Right.
during the back that ass up and all that heyday. It was pretty wild, man. Honestly. So, and
Yeah.
I started out shooting videos, doing a lot of rap stuff in the beginning.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean, basically whoever would call you, but there just happened to be more rap, and a lot of my friends were like, "Hey, man, one or two of them kind of got me cornered one day, and yeah, I don't know. I kind of figured I'd still be doing more of that, but really, it just things kind of changed. Now
Right.
videos are shot different. I just prefer to stay in my lane, and
Right.
that's definitely aggressive
You,
metal.
you done some pretty big stuff though. I mean, with the stuff with Down, you're just when's the new Down video gonna be launched? And you did that.
I did. We were just talking about it, and this is the first time I'm mentioning it publicly, or other than saying we shot one,
Yeah.
just to say like we did shoot one or whatever, but we weren't really given any details on it, so I figured I'd give them to you if
Hey,
if you were
appreciate
down
it.
to hear it. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, basically did a it's a cover of a Dr. John song,
Uh-huh.
and I probably shouldn't say which one, but it's based off of an old performance of a Dr. John concert from like a 73 midnight special, like back when the Night Trippers were, that was his
Right.
band. And
Uh-huh.
it was just completely wild. So I'm not sure exactly why they picked that one or how that came up, but she mentioned about wanting to do it, Kate, and
Uh-huh.
we just came up with all the costumes and the set design, and we kind of meshed 2 different Dr. John shows together for one, and you'll see it. I mean, it's a costumed extravaganza. Let's just say that,
Oh
and
shit.
those are a lot of fun.
Yeah.
These guys are a lot of fun. There's absolutely zero fucks given about anything. There's pretty much everything in it, and it's a great cover of that song. So when
Yeah.
people hear it, they're probably figuring, just like I did. I said the same thing. Wow, I wonder what like this is going to sound like, but it's awesome. It's great. I don't know. Maybe I'm just jaded or whatever, but I really like it.
Sure.
Nobody's really tried to do anything like this that I know of, and I'm like I said, I'm still not sure how it even came to be that they were doing it. I'm not sure if it's going to be on the album because they're in the middle of recording the album, but this is going to come out
Right.
ahead. It's going to be like I mean, I don't know if the word single still exists these days, but kind of like a single standalone.
Sure.
Um, and as far as when, we're still going through it, but I'm trying to shoot for the end of the month. So if we can,
Yeah.
they've got a couple of dates that we were looking at, possibly using it to promote, but I don't know if that's Milwaukee Metal Fest is coming up a little bit too quick.
Huh.
And there's one or two other ones, but it should be by the end of the month. I think it's just going to come out when it's ready, not necessarily for promotion of anything, but it's some kind of a Japanese single thing that's coming out. I'll have to find out a little bit
really?
more info, but nowadays you'll hear it all and see it all over. But yeah, it's
Right.
it's kind of hard to, sometimes it's just the different projects, you don't really even find out exactly what it's going to be doing, but I think it'll be pretty big. I think everybody's going to trip out. It's not like anything, not that anybody else has done, but that they've done either.
Sure.
I
You
mean,
sent me some pictures. I seen some of the stuff you sent me, and it looks
yeah,
pretty fucking cool. I'm excited to hear it and see it. So
I am too, man. And it was definitely hard to have all this stuff in the can and just not be able to really talk about it, or
right.
but I mean, it's getting close enough now. Like we still haven't given tons of details because I think we just wanted to, shock people a little bit. I think
Sure.
if you see too much of it ahead, I think you might, feel like you saw it or something, but you
Right.
haven't. Definitely not.
Right. Yeah.
It's got the Mardi Gras Indians in it. We got everybody. Like I said, it's going to be real fun. So
Yeah. And you filmed? Did
definitely.
you film a lot of that during Mardi Gras time?
It was it was during Mardi Gras. Actually, it was right as Mardi Gras ended. Um, we had a small window where Phil was home from Pantera because they did a European thing in February, and they came back and had this tiny little window between them leaving for Down for the uh, Danzig and Down tour that they just did. So yeah, we had like one day to put it all together and catch them before everybody goes.
Sure.
Crowbar was headed back to Europe. Uh, Pepper's doing COC, so they were recording that also. And it was just, we were lucky to get it's never enough time, but we got a good day in there and got everybody. So I just had to squeeze it in. I don't know,
Yeah.
but everything came out
No,
good.
you did it with the guys of Sun Don't Shine in their latest video, the Promise song.
Right.
Um, and it's kind of cool to see behind the scenes of how a lot of that's done. It's pretty cool the way and how fast things you could do in a day just with the technology that's available now.
Yeah.
You know what I
Oh
mean?
yeah, for sure, man. It's I don't know. I'm amazed sometimes at the shit that we come up with. Like we'll go and shoot a show, on a Saturday, come sit here and mix shit down and dump everything and start working on it. And a lot of times we'll have a video on Monday morning for people that missed the show Saturday. Like
Yeah.
in a perfect world, that's how I love to do it when I can. But you would have never been able to do that with film or any of that.
Right.
It would have been, months or whatever, just
Yeah.
plus not to mention the expense. So
Right.
yeah, it's pretty wild. It's definitely come around. I didn't really work too much in the film time. I worked a little bit on some of my first gigs, but I never tried to edit and work with multiple film cams or nothing.
Right.
We did multiple VHS tape cams, which even that's still a kind of more of a pain, but that's what it was at the time, the pre-HD days. So, um, but now, man, you just pull that card out, pop it in, and
There you go.
dump it, keep on going. Yeah, it's great. I don't know if I'd be doing it if I had to do all that other shit.
Right. But in all reality, though, I mean, it's you can't believe you sit there and you watch some of it and how it comes together, and then you pick up on things. It's just pretty cool how you guys do that, and it's
Oh
an
yeah,
art for
man.
sure. So,
Yeah.
I wanted to pick your mind because I mean, how many shows would you say you gone to down there in New Orleans, just in your lifetime? You grew up there, right?
Oh, well, I've been here for 30 years, 31 years.
Uh,
So I was from Florida originally, which I don't really, but yeah, 31 years. But I am I'm not kidding when I say it. Like I used to really, really be a show person. Like nowadays, with a little one and all, we don't get to go as much. But
Right.
I mean, just thousands and thousands. It's hard to say. Like a lot of tours will skip here. Like either
Right.
like especially the big ones, they either won't miss it or they won't ever come. Like I don't know. You can. I've seen a lot of drummers get a. I mean, nothing against drummers or anything, but like one band member get drunk and wild and get arrested. Like we've had to go. I used to manage the House of Blues also,
Huh.
and I swear to God, once a month, one of the one of the band folks or whatever would get arrested or whatever. We'd have to get them out, try to get them to the show. Like, so I mean, I can see why, but yeah, here if it comes and it's worth seeing, I try never to miss it. But you know, I would say 25 years ago or more, like we went to 2 or 3 shows a week at least.
Right.
You
Mhm.
know, so yeah, I mean, just I don't know. Whenever there's good metal coming, I always like to go support it, make sure people show up. I always try to
Right.
plug everything as much as I can. I kind of
Yeah.
still work with the House of Blues doing like their marketing for for their metal stuff. So through that, I
Didn't
get a
you
lot
shoot
of.
some of the, not to interrupt you, but didn't you
I don't
shoot
know.
some of the down video there at the House of Blues? Is that where that was?
Yep, yep, yeah. In 2013, we did
Yeah.
the one where he busted his head wide open.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, yeah. Or Kirk did, but yeah. Um, I knew immediately that. I mean, that was one of my first big shoots with them. I worked
Uh-huh.
on their Witch Tripper video and stuff, which was another like costumed, really fun video that they did. And then that was the very next thing was that show. But I, hadn't seen
What did
that
you
much
think
blood on the
when you see,
ground in a long
yeah, when
time.
you seen all that transpire, uh, you had to know that this is like,
It
holy
happened
shit,
quick.
this,
Well, I was on the stage. I was right next to him, so I mean, I heard the noise, and but I wasn't positive exactly what happened. I knew somehow, but you know, I knew once I saw that big old gash that it was gold.
yeah,
He immediately turned into a pit bull for real. Like you can just see his whole demeanor change once he saw blood floating around, and I mean, it was
yeah,
everywhere.
yeah.
I got one picture I took at the end of a set list that's like torn and just completely covered in blood. So,
We'll get
and it
it. And it wasn't done
was
on purpose, right?
oh no, hell no. I mean they were rocking out. They're used to
Right.
maybe a slightly bigger stage. I mean House of Blues isn't giant, but anyway, they were rocking out and Kirk had that Explorer and that sharp edge just nailed them. You know,
Yeah.
one
Yeah.
person
Because
going that way and another that way, whatever that force is there, and I don't know. It's hard to even tell where it was now. That was huge, man. I don't know. Most people would have stopped the show, let's say, or whatever,
right.
been on their
And they
way to.
played the whole set.
Oh hell yeah, they did. I think they played longer, and then he hung out after. Like there was no rush to the ER or nothing. I think they did go like after, but maybe
Yeah.
even later, or had somebody come by or something. But yeah, I mean, pretty wild.
So what I'm getting to is I've asked some of your guys down there from that scene and everything, and the question I ask, and I love this question just because I love opinions on everybody, but you have your Mount Rushmore guys from New Orleans on the metal scene, right? It's your four top Mount Rushmore of guys um, for that city in the metal industry, right? So
Hmm.
like you have comparing it to like Seattle, where you'd have like Kurt Cobain and Lane Staley, or Jerry Cantrell, that type of, you know what I mean? Just as an example. So who would you put
Yeah.
on that Mount Rushmore of New Orleans?
Oh, I mean, of folks that have been in the scene here, or people that I
Yeah, I
know,
mean,
or
but
just
yeah, of all the caliber that has developed in that
yeah.
music scene in New Orleans, and it's kind of been the face of New Orleans metal scene, right? Um, who would those four type of big names that submerged from New Orleans?
I
in the
mean,
metal scene.
as far as bands go, the one band that we definitely would never ever miss, never did miss, used to ride their weird, crazy old school bus back and forth from New Orleans to
Yeah.
home on was Acid Bath for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, as far as New Orleans bands go, I mean, I think they were god awfully talented guys for sure. And considering how young everybody was back then,
Right.
you know, and just I'm blown away by the response to it coming back this, but you know, it's really hard, man. It's all different styles. I like all of them. And considering New Orleans is a small place, it really does have a lot of international metal bands that are known, you know, which more so than a lot of big cities or whatever, because all the, you know, Acid Bath, Soylent Green, Crowbar, you know, all these dudes, Goat Whore, all of Phil's stuff. I mean, they all still tour with it. It all still does well. Uh, you know, I would have to say Kirk and Phil and all those guys, obviously, because of their
Right.
volumes of work that they've done here.
Yeah.
Total institutions, you know, anybody that ever gets a chance to catch Crowbar or any of these guys in your hometown, they definitely bring a little slice of that right to you. Like they're always on the road. So it's just
Right.
wild to see. Um, yeah, I mean, you know, all these guys are just everybody's so good. Like I said, Acid Bath split. Sammy and Ben went you know, did Goat Horror. Like
Right.
everybody's in individual projects have also done equally well. Excuse me. Equally well. And I mean, there's just a lot of good shit here. It just kind of has its own style here, you know,
Right. Oh,
sludgy, you know.
when I was in Vegas, for that down show, that was a fucking awesome show too. I was like, that's probably one of the highlights of my seeing shows, honestly, of one of my top five at least.
You know,
Of they sounded really, really good.
working on the video stuff. I
Sure.
mean, they took off
Yeah.
and we went to town starting to work on it. So
Yeah.
I wanted to catch that San Antonio show. That was probably the closest, but
Yeah.
yeah. Um, so the time you saw him was the time before, or is that?
Yes, but opening for Danzig is back in
Oh,
March.
okay, yeah. That's
Yeah.
the same tour.
Yeah.
Because I know they played Vegas before that tour too. But
Yeah. No, they sounded really, really good. And wow, I was really impressed. But,
yeah,
you know,
just West Coast was hard to get to at that point. Normally, I wouldn't
right.
miss it. Yeah,
So you got some stuff coming up. I mean, you got a full plate, really, don't you?
I do. Yep, yep.
'Cause you're doing some stuff with the Sun Don't Shine guys again.
Right. Yeah, we're
Um,
going to be
yeah.
doing another video for them in June, and this one's like a real concept video that
Yeah.
Andrew pretty much is putting together with the guys. So it's definitely not just jamming and stuff. There's
Right.
just more like a video with an actual purpose and some thought put into it, and like um, I don't want to give too much of it away or whatever, but I do know we're shooting it on. I believe it's June 14th,
Yeah.
and then the turnaround. They're going to kind of stay here. I think they're going to be in town for a while, so I think we're just going to try to get together and sort of knock it out with those guys instead of because they're always kind of in and out, or they got gigs and they got to split four ways or whatever. So,
Right.
um, yeah, I'm pretty sure. So as far as when, I would say probably sometime in July would it'll most likely be out, but you know, it's nice to have about a month or so. Any longer than that's too long, but any less, you could,
Right.
depending on what it is, I can slap live stuff together real fast, but when it comes to stuff like this, it takes a little while.
Right. Yeah.
Plus,
Especially doing all the editing and then you're adding more stuff to it. And that, yeah, I get it.
yeah, and I mean, sitting in a room by yourself too, just going, going off for hours at a time. It'll be kind of nice to have Andrew here or whatever, he's owns the label those guys are on, for anybody. Corpse Paint that's not aware. And yeah, I think it'll be a lot of fun to kind of bring his vision to life. I mean, he's got a whole script for sure.
Yeah, he was telling us about it in Vegas, and it sounds really cool. So
yeah. I mean, you know, all of the stuff we've done up till this point has been, you know, well, I mean, no acting in it or nothing, but you know, they were definitely jamming out. It wasn't all just live stuff, but a lot of it had kind of a live feel. One of them was in the studio, like or at least on a stage. You know, this one almost. The last one we did, we started to kind of want to do one like that. I did have an overlying like story we were going to kind of add in, but it wound up coming out so cool. I thought that we just didn't really, you know, didn't need it for that one. I thought the last one just fell together and it was great. So
I thought so. Now really good.
Now the boys are, I thought so. You know, now they're going to get to try their acting chops out. So we'll see. Definitely a different thing, you know.
So how many takes before it gets you to the point where you're like, Jesus Christ, just fucking do it the way they're. Have you been in that role yet?
Oh man, yeah. Most of the time, you got to have your shit together. I mean, if you're working with folks of these caliber or whatever, you don't want to be dicking around and holding people up all day, but you got to make sure you get what you came for. So it's hard. You know what I mean? That you can't exactly run around and be barking out orders and shit, you know, like some of the sets you'll see, they have like that AD guy running around, you know, back to one, this and that. Like that doesn't work, you know. I mean, not in my experience. You just gotta, the number one thing Phil always, since the first time I met him, and I didn't realize he more or less did this every time, but he said, "What's my motivation?" And that was really the first time I'd ever heard that. And it's kind of summed it up for me. Like I just laid out exactly what I was thinking, and somehow he just knows how to do it and look cool doing it. But so ever since then, now it's kind of summed that up. I always try to have like what the motivation ought to be, even if you're not really acting, you know, like, so, so he was the one who kind of taught me that part of it, you know, because that just having that together can really sort of, you know, it's hard to put your vision into somebody else's head, especially if they don't really do this kind of stuff, you know. But all these dudes have made way more videos than I have, so I'm just not bringing in anything new to it, you know. But I do like to, when we're shooting live, I like to leave as small of a footprint so you don't really sort of disrupt the show in any way, but still be able to get what you want. And it's the same with shooting videos like this, you know. That's just how it is. You gotta, I don't know, you just gotta keep your eyes on the prize and just try to catch everybody while they're in a good mood and try to get everything that you can, you know.
And that one is it's a cool shot video of the one in New Orleans. That live video of down that you done. So what are you listening to right now?
Oh man, silence whenever I can, just because I'm editing so much. But I've been mixing down the Exhorter that we shot, and mostly starting to work on that. I've sent a couple of tests. I mean, the acid bath stuff's incredible. So, and now, like I said, we got 2 different shows to go through of it. So I've been working on that a lot, sending them some tests and trying to figure out what exactly we're going to do, you know. Their next couple of dates are festivals, so it wasn't really going to work out, but we're going to go shoot a couple other shows of theirs too. Like, I'm not sure which ones, but some of the next ones that are clubs. And then we'll have 3 and 4 shows where the stuff to pick from. And after that, we'll have more interviews. We'll have enough stuff to really put, like, you know, a concert documentary type thing together. But
that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, I want to still be able to put out some videos of it. I definitely want to put a couple on my channel, because having them on my channel will pretty much complete the full circle of everybody that I've, old friends, newer friends. Just, I've always wanted to shoot those guys live. So that was a big one, but I never thought it would happen. They weren't available. I shot everybody individually as bands, but so that's killer. I'm just glad for that.
What is your top 5 albums that you would say your number one go-to, that you could start from start to finish, your top 5 albums that you would put on to this day and listen to start to finish? And from when you ever started listening to what, it could be any genre of music or anything.
Yeah. I mean, that's so hard, but, I'm still into older stuff, 30 plus years from, early Metallica, Slayer, Testament stuff, but I mean, if I had to pop names onto them, I mean, I would have to say, even more so than Rain and Blood, probably, Jesus, Seasons in the Abyss probably was, I mean, I love Rain and Blood, but Seasons in the Abyss truly came out and blew my mind. 90 was pretty good time period, but, oh Jesus. Yeah. I mean, Sabbath stuff, Volume 4 and all those guys. Just by band, I mean, I would have to say Crowbar, Oddfellows Rest is still one of my absolute number one go-to albums. And nowadays I listen to so much Napalm Death, like when I'm driving, I just put it on shuffle, but I'm not even sure which album some of that stuff's off of, but they got so many good ones. Oh God, what is that? 3? Yeah, that's hard, man.
It's a hard question. You really stop and think about it. And
Pussy Soul from Soylent Green, that was another huge one when I first moved here. Love those guys. Did get to shoot. They got back together as well. They hadn't played since '08, and I got to shoot them last year. And that's what kind of put it on my radar that maybe one day, acid, never thinking it would happen, but it did. So, but Pussy Soul's a great one. Oddfellows Rest. I mean, that's all stuff from here. Far Beyond Driven, obviously, would have to be another face smasher to me from back in the day that I still absolutely love to put on.
So here, before I let you think on this a little bit for a second, but that Far Beyond Driven album, my buddy that's coming down to New Orleans with me, who you'll meet down there, Slutenhofer, that's his favorite all-time Pantera album as well. But for me personally, I think Vulgar Display of Power, to me, or even I would even put Southern Trendkill too.
Well, yeah, it's hard. It's hard to, I mean, that
you could do a whole segment on Pantera albums.
Well, of course, yeah. I mean, every one of those I had on tape, on CD, on whatever, on record, and pretty much burned through each copy. You had to buy multiple copies of each, so that's how much playing. But yeah, I mean, I think Far Beyond Driven, I mean, I was 19 when it came out. I was just, I don't know, super into those guys. Still living in Florida at the time. And yeah, it's funny because when I moved to New Orleans, Phil Anselmo was one of the first people that I met. Just randomly. Yeah. There was a place called Fat City. It's in Jefferson Parish. It's a little ways from here, but there used to be a bunch of cool rock clubs. So I walked into the bathroom to go pee. There's like hardly anybody there. And I look over and I'm like, holy shit, that looked like Phil, and they're in there smoking a joint. So I'm just kind of pissing and they're still standing in there. And I finish up and he's like, hey, you want to hit this? And I was like, sure. And I walk over and he's like, wash your fucking hands first. Puffed on it a couple times. And then he went out and sang some cover with the band that was playing there. And that was just really cool. Like, of all things, I moved to New Orleans. I hear of this place in another parish. I'm like, what the fuck is that? I don't know nothing. And walk in and meet him, of all things. So that was funny.
When you say parish, that's counties, right?
That's a county. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
basically the same, but from whatever their old Louisiana French stuff,
Slang.
Yeah,
No.
the only place I know that's got that. But anyway, yeah. So that was kind of fun. I mean, what the odds are, there was before cell phones where I was like, dude, you're
Right.
never gonna believe who I met. Everybody's like, yeah, okay, but
And you didn't
but
have
he
a
was
camera right there for the moment
no,
on your
that's
phone,
no,
you
that's
know.
that's what I mean. Nowadays, it's like, holy shit,
Yeah.
you'd have got that, but no, it just made for a funny story, you know.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I mean, the early days of metal here, everybody just sort of cohabitated. I mean, Phil had like 5 different bands he was in. I mean, before, like, other than Down and Super Joint and all those,
Right.
Christ Inversion would play. Um, a band called Satanus, I remember. Um, just all kinds of different stuff.
So you're doing a documentary thing. Can that be announced of corrosion of conformity documentary that you've been working
Yeah.
on?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, they're obviously Reed Mullen passed away, so they have another guy playing drums who played
Right.
on their album in '05, Stanton Moore, but Stanton Moore is like an unbelievably big drummer here in New Orleans. Like, he's normally got like a funk kind of background.
Huh.
So it just sounds, I mean, I don't want to say completely different, but just sounds completely incredible.
Yeah.
Um, so we went down and uh, did like the starting of like a small doc on them at the recording studio down in Lafayette. It's called Dockside. It was a super big place in the '70s, '80s, like a little haven out in the middle of the bayou with all real consoles and just old school. So we went there and just kind of shot his introduction to coming back to the band, and also Bobby from Honky, Bobby Landgraf. He's playing bass, so and he's been Rex's tech for Pantera since they restarted,
Yeah.
and he's in a million other projects, but now he's playing bass with that too. So it was going to shoot the 2 new guys, and then talk some to the old guys too, and then
Right.
when they that was mostly for the drums, and when they do their guitar stuff, we're gonna go shoot again. So it'll be an
Nice.
ongoing thing, and we shot a video that's going to be coming out before that. It's a really awesome song they did. So we kind of shot some of it in the studio, and that'll be another one probably coming out maybe in the beginning of July, I would say. It'll be on this doc thing. I'm not sure exactly what they want to do with it, but we're putting it together because those guys they're about to go out on the road with Judas Priest and Alice Cooper. I saw in September, and in January they got another big ass tour, so they're about to get super busy.
I've heard some rumors.
Yeah, and I'm not sure exactly when this album that they're recording now is coming out. I feel like that might be a next year,
Yeah.
but the doc will definitely be out way before that. Um, I'm just about done with Down, so COC will be the next thing pretty much after. I get some of this acid bath stuff together. That doc thing's just kind of compiling, and I'm still adding stuff to it. I still got to go do some more interviews, but I'm dying to get some of this stuff here out. You know,
Right.
yeah. So
What do you think of this tour concept, or if this would be able to pull off or not? This lineup, you would have um, Down as your main headliner, right?
hmm
Then Corrosion of Conformity, and then Sun Don't Shine.
Oh, I think it would do killer. I'm sure. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it'd do great. I'm dying to see those guys get out and do some live stuff, but be a hell of a tour for sure. Better have a
Right.
date here, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately,
Would
on
you
the
do that? Would you do that at your place?
I think my place would be way too small. I mean,
That's what I mean. I mean, because it is a
yeah,
kind of, I mean, it's not a big place, but just to have that intimate, you know what I mean? That'd be, but
yeah.
would that be pretty hard to
I think
pull
they would
off?
have. It would have to be like the Fillmore size. That was a
Yeah.
2,500, 3,000 ish capacity, somewhere in there. I mean, you know, uh, Southport is even. It might even be a little. I mean, down plays at Southport a lot, which is really probably the coolest place that's doing metal regularly now. Those guys are awesome over there. Mark, love you, buddy. Um, so yeah, they're I mean, it would be somewhere in
But I'm
between
just saying,
those two.
it'd be kind of a cool little, if you could pull it off, it'd be kind of that small, real intimate, you know what I mean? In your
Yeah.
face type of, yeah, I think it'd be kind of a
Oh,
cool.
I think it'd be a great one, and I wouldn't discount something like that happening. I know they're going to be doing some touring. I'm not sure. I think
Yeah.
probably as soon as they come and finish this, that'll be the first real, you know, push to get out and start showing stuff around. But I'm looking forward
So,
to it.
so you grew up in I mean, your heydays were in the early 90s, just like mine. I graduated in 94. Um, but when you first heard Bloody Kisses, what was your reaction?
Man, I was blown away by it. Uh, before I don't know. I mean, before social media and all that stuff.
Right.
Anytime you'd catch little clips or because MTV never really dealt with other than Headbangers Ball, which even that got goofy, towards the
Right.
end. But you just didn't have access to stuff like that, so it was just super special. And those guys always were. I mean, I never missed those guys either. I mean, probably saw them at least 10 times or so.
Yeah.
They were just and still are just unbelievable.
I'll never forget the first time I heard that and that album because all, like you said, you're limited access to what was available. So at that time, you just seen the video of Black Number One. That's all what you seen. And
Right.
growing in a small town in Iowa, you had to go to a major city to even go to like a head shop or a record store or just to get that underground music and what people are listening to, right? And
Yeah. Yep.
so we were only exposed to Black Number One, and then you go to the major city, and then of course CD sold out, so then you bought the tape. But I just remember listening to it, and I was like, "Holy shit, this is nothing like you were gonna expect." You know what I mean? And it's
Yeah.
there again. It's one of them albums for me, my all-time favorite album, but it's one of them albums from start to finish. It just flows perfect, and it's my Dark Side of the Moon of Pink Floyd's really.
Yep.
Um,
Good way to put it, for sure.
yeah.
Yeah, they were one of the first shows I saw when I moved to New Orleans. Like
Uh-huh.
where I was living before I moved to New Orleans or whatever, it wasn't in a major city. The closest was probably like Orlando or something. So we'd get some stuff. But once I moved to New Orleans, like it was wild. They used to have, I don't know, just all kinds of shows here all the time. Just unbelievable. They were always slammed. The drinking age was 18 when I first moved here, so shows would just be unbelievably packed, or whatever. So that was also another reason why it was super wild here. Like, the first
Right.
couple of years, 18-year-olds could drink in the clubs or whatever. So it was just, you can imagine. And then all of a sudden when that got taken away, everything slowed up a lot, So
Right.
I couldn't believe it was. I mean, I already had a fake ID, so I wasn't worried about it. But I couldn't believe, how coming from Florida, no way in hell they'd have that there.
Right.
So, but yeah, everything was so much busier. There were so many more shows. I feel like that's right around the time where it started to shift to just specific places would do, like I said, Fat City and Metairie, that was everybody misses that place, like that was just a few little small clubs, but every weekend we were there 2 or 3 nights, like just never missed it. So
Right.
now it's big commercial places.
You miss that It's that small,
Yeah, I think
intimate, just
so.
that feel of,
I mean, everybody
um,
was younger then, you know what I mean? It was,
right. It, as Spalding would say, the innocence.
yeah. I mean, you could, you would, I mean, I don't even know, just, I guess you bounced better. Like, I could stay out and go do all that stuff, but all of it
Yeah.
was, before I started doing videos, I was still involved with the metal scene. I learned how to do websites and picked up a computer, started doing flyers and album covers and just all that kind of stuff. And then it kind of just led into this with all the same friends that I knew back then that I was just doing something else for or some way. So
Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
small community.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's worked out, which is cool, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Just
Like you
don't,
said, it's
you
gone
don't,
full circle
yeah.
of, you know, you have this vision, and if you put in the time and effort to do it, you're going to get the benefits of what you planted in as a roots, you know.
Right.
So,
Yeah. And it's, you just don't want to, it's a small place. You don't really want to be burning any bridges, or
well,
you never know, next thing you
right.
know, you'll be whatever
Yesterday's
working
news.
working for well no yeah I mean but next thing you know somebody you were going to be talking shit about or whatever people do like
Yeah.
next thing they'll be in charge of something or want to do a project and it's like weird or luckily I don't
Right.
have any of that. I've always managed to stay neutral on
Sure.
stuff and just try to stay
That,
close as you
that's pretty
can
cool.
as
Like when I met you and Charles there, and another guy I've gotten just to know over just the past year really well. It's been cool getting to know some of you guys and just being so welcoming. So yeah,
well just got to come down and catch one of these shows one of these days. I mean,
yeah. Well, I'll be down there in June, and I'll see each other then. And
oh cool. Well
I'm really looking forward to um, my buddy that's coming down with me, just because he, you know, we went to these shows together growing up in high school, just like what we were just talking about, you know.
yeah.
And you always dreamed of doing something with a big band and doing, you know what I mean, just being involved in something like that. That was our dreams of doing. And
Yeah.
now I got this opportunity in front of me, and I'm doing this. And so it's kind of cool seeing it all come together, like what you said. But just for him getting down there and seeing some of this, because we did all this stuff growing up. So I look forward to seeing you, and can't wait to hang out for a couple days. And uh,
Yeah, you're coming down when we do the shoot.
we fly in on June 10th. Yeah.
Oh yeah, okay, cool,
And then we leave that whatever that Saturday is. So
cool. So you're doing another podcast with those guys?
yeah, yep.
Yeah,
And
cool,
do yeah, we're gonna knock out some and some other stuff hopefully, and yeah, get some stuff in the works. So
cool. Yeah, I mean, we'll be whatever. I mean, I'm sure Charles will be coming to get a bunch of killer shots, and
yeah,
we'll probably have some stuff to show or at least talk about at that time.
yeah,
But
for sure.
we'll be able to get into it a little more then. But
Yeah,
I'm psyched about it. It's Andrew's directing debut, so whether he knows that or not, um, he's going to be.
yeah.
This is his baby. We're
Hey,
gonna we're
I'm down for that. I'm down for that.
yeah. Well, we're gonna put his baby together, or whatever. So that's gonna be fun.
Yeah,
And then God knows who we'll have to see what else is going on during that time. Hopefully, there's some good shows or something we can go check out.
yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
it'd be good to
Super.
see Todd and all them too. Just such a cool guy to talk with, and
Absolutely. Oh, it's always fun, man. I love when those guys come.
but
I feel like I'm always so busy. I just don't.
yeah,
We or not, I'm not busy, but just focused on doing that stuff. That yeah, I mean, they'll actually be here longer. We'll get to hang out a little bit more because it's usually
right,
kind of a whirlwind thing.
yeah,
And then also they've been recording too, so it's like that's the most important thing for them to do is get that stuff done. And the easier that we can make all this, the less distracting. I think it'll be the better, it'll be better.
Right. Right. Speaking of, real quick, all-time favorite Down song.
Oh, that's a tough one, man. I'd have to say probably Pillars of Eternity. Like if I didn't know any better. I mean, that's a hard one though. That's a hard one to pick. Perfection of the Sea. I love that one also. Tough. Yeah. I'd have to say Pillars of Eternity, I guess, probably. That's probably like the first song I heard by them. Or, I mean, I remember getting that very first demo of it and hearing it and just being pretty blown away by it, So, yeah. Pillars, I'm sticking with it. Pillars of Eternity. About that.
See, mine would be probably Eyes of the South.
That's what I mean. It's too hard to, that the whole entire. I mean, I'm huge Down 2 fan. Like when that came out, that was another one I completely burned up multiple copies of all formats on. Just absolutely ripping. But yeah, it's hard, man. I don't know if I can really. It really is hard to pick. Like when you say like favorite of stuff, it really. I mean, I can narrow that down like per band, but once you start mixing bands, one of them or this, like
right.
It's so hard, man. I don't know. I just have a lot of different favorites, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get it, man. Well, it's good catching up with you, and can't wait to see this new video that you just did with Down. And good catching up and seeing you again, and we'll see you here in a couple weeks in June and that. So.
Oh yeah, looking forward to it, man. And I'll send you some updates the minute I hear when that is, and you can
cool.
At least update on another podcast because as of this time, we're still not sure, but I do know it's almost done. So it should be. I'm thinking within the next month, but
awesome.
I'll keep you up to date and definitely look forward to catching up. See you guys when you're down here.
Yeah, and until then, appreciate your time, man. Best of luck. Glad you got your electricity back on.
Yeah, man.
And back home. But
I know.
Till then, toodaloo, buckaroo, and thanks Tom's Fishing and Guiding Services. And real quick shout out to some of the guys behind the scenes for me with Chris Cox and of course old Nikki for helping me with the edits and all that. So with all that, we'll talk soon, and toodaloo, buckaroo.
Driver interviews, pit action, industry news. We're bringing you everything that fuels the adrenaline-pumping world of dirt track racing. Buckle up now. You're sitting with the Slimy Bastards.